Before I carry on, let me give an apology to everyone involved in this project and our viewing public, as it were. The max effective range of excuse remains 0 meters, and I should have front loaded, gotten my customs done, gotten everything ready for my own unboxing presentation that you just saw before the package had arrived, so I could hit the ground running, take care of my business. Okay, apologies done. Let's move forward. So as you saw, one of my Joes, in fact my very first Joe I ever had, opened the box and let our traveling Joe out. He had a nice plastic bag to protect this wonderful reflocking that Jeff did. And as you can see, he's a little worse for the wear, but in a cybernetic kind of way. I see we've got this rather gruesome option or trophy. A sweet vest, plate carrier, very nice. I date myself. These were not a thing back in the day. We've got some cash money so we can spend. That's handy. And map case. I'm a big fan of maps. And one of these wonderful, sweet communicators that some of the gang use. You saw in my presentation, Joe's going to end up being a mix of some very new and very old technology in my world. So we'll put those there. We're going to put a new plastic bag to protect the flocking, because the wind gods grabbed it as I was shooting the video. And then, take this box out of the box, as it were. I was not able to repack this pop-up tent properly, but very handy, because I anticipated I was going to have to rig something up with some parachute cloth or something for the hospital tent, but this was perfect for that answer. But as you can see, I wasn't able to put it away properly. All right, let's take a look at this very nice box. I'm making a hash of it. Yes, I will do. So you can see the lid. Got that. It's hitting all over the lower 48, I would say. And then this one gently. Instructions for the tent. That's pretty essential. But I do want to show you this map. So it's my turn now to add. He's come here to New Haven, and after I'm done, he'll be heading down to Pennsylvania. Well, wouldn't you know it, gets worse. As you can see, my overhead shot's not locked down properly, and I've lost the video for the primary camera, so we only have the overhead shot. But the idea, my contribution to this Traveling Joe project, was to demonstrate and contribute some sweaters made from socks. So the idea is you pick out a sock that's plain or has a pattern that will work, and then cut parts for the sweater from the sock. The body, pretty straightforward. It's the full-size sock in diameter, and you might cut it as I did here to incorporate a contrasting color to provide the bottom hem, and I also made a collar out of some of that material. And then the arms are half the diameter of the sock. And again, in this case, I've used the transition from the body of the sock to the hem, if you will. And then I'm trying to put the sock on the Traveling Joe, and I was too worried about ruining that wonderful flock that Jeff did, so I'm going to put this sweater on my old Joe and not worry about it. And then I'll ship it with. Now we're going to go to Action Girl, and we're going to look at making a sweater for her using this striped pattern sock. Again, something went south with it. Either I had a heel hole or the elastic gave up. And this speaks to the issue of choosing patterns that work. So these very wide stripes might not work for a regular length sweater, but for a sweater dress, they should answer fine. So I'm taking half the diameter of a sock to create the sleeve, and then sewing up the shoulders while leaving the neck proud, but hemming it so it won't unravel. And then putting the different elements together. Again, sewing it all inside out so that the Sewing doesn't show when we're done. And now put on the second sleeve. And check our work. Turn it right side out and put it on Action Girl. And there she is. Then we can see some of the other socks I have. There's a solid one, and I'm cutting it so, again, to use the sort of sewn in pattern to create a ribbed sweater with a waist cuff. And then the same thing with the sleeves. I want to create a sense that they also have cuffs. Turn everything inside out and start sewing. And then again, lining up on Joe, talking about how you might incorporate different stripe patterns or other patterns into your sweater design. But this is what I do with my used up socks, because I think that's kind of clever. And it goes back to something I did in college. I'll have to make a proper video on how to do this. And that's a valuable lesson in of itself. Take care.